ploy for attention go way too far. My sister staged increasingly violent accidents to make our parents drop everything and rush to her side, once telling the ER nurse, "I guess I have, to lose a limb before my family remembers I exist." My sister Lila was 5 years older and had always resented me for being born premature. I'd spent months in the NICU, and apparently our parents' world revolved around keeping me alive. Lila told everyone that I'd stolen her childhood by almost dying and making everything about my medical needs. She'd pinch me until I bruised, then tell our parents I was clumsy. When I was 6, she pushed me down the stairs to prove I wasn't as fragile as everyone thought. She got grounded while Dad dealt with my broken wrist. When Lila turned 16, she finally realized that hurting me only got her negative attention. She discovered a better strategy when she came home from school with her arm in a sling, claiming she'd fallen during gym class. Our parents immediately dropped everything to rush her to urgent care where x-rays showed nothing wrong, but Lila insisted she was in agony and needed constant care. Within a week, she'd shown up with mysterious bruises, cuts that required stitches, and stories about how clumsy she'd become. Mom took time off work to drive her to specialists while Dad installed grab bars throughout the house. Lila had found her new identity. Every few weeks brought a new accident that required immediate medical attention and family disruption. Lila would limp into the house with road rash, claiming she'd fallen off her bike, or emerge from the bathroom with deep cuts she swore came from dropping a mirror. She kept a color-coded calendar tracking which injuries she'd used at which locations to avoid repeating stories. I caught her practicing falls in her room and applying fake bruises with makeup, but when I told our parents, they said I was jealous of the attention she needed during her difficult phase. Her accidents always happened during my important moments. During my middle school graduation, she called claiming she'd fallen downstairs at the mall and needed emergency pickup. At my 13th birthday party, she stumbled in covered in fake blood from a kitchen accident that made my friends' parents take their kids home early. She researched injury patterns online and would hurt herself just enough to seem believable without causing permanent damage. She'd slam her hand indoors for authentic swelling or hold ice against her skin to create convincing bruises. Our house became a medical supply store with first aid kits in every room because Lila might hurt herself anywhere. She wore various braces and bandages like accessories, switching them based on her mood. Teachers excused her from assignments because of her constant injuries, and she milked every moment of concern. She discovered that unlike illness, injuries were visible and impossible to dispute. You couldn't fake a broken bone, but you could absolutely fake how you got it. Everything escalated when Lila decided minor injuries weren't generating enough sympathy. She started researching car accidents and how to stage them safely. I overheard her on the phone with some sketchy guy discussing prices for hitting her car at low speed to cause believable damage. That's when I realized she was going to get herself or someone else killed for attention. I couldn't let her hurt innocent people, so I downloaded her injury calendar and all her staged accident photos from her computer. I made copies of her browser history showing hours of research on how to fake accidents and believable injury patterns. I even recorded her practicing her limp in different ways. Then I created an anonymous email account and sent everything to our parents, her school counselor, and her doctor. I couldn't watch her anymore, but I wasn't going to let her take anyone else down with her. My parents were devastated, but they finally saw the truth they'd been avoiding. Lila went nuclear when authorities started investigating. She claimed I'd hacked her computer and fabricated evidence because I was jealous of her injuries getting more attention than my childhood illness. She actually threw herself down the stairs in front of our parents, then blamed me for pushing her. When paramedics arrived, she sobbed that I'd been hurting her for years and she'd been too scared to tell anyone. She showed them old scars she'd given herself and said I'd done it all. Our parents didn't know what to believe when Lila's performance was so convincing. She filed a police report claiming I was dangerous and needed psychiatric evaluation. While I was being questioned by police, Lila decided to go through with her ultimate plan. She paid the guy to hit her car while she was driving to therapy, thinking a real accident would prove she'd been telling the truth all along. But he hit her harder than planned, and her car spun into oncoming traffic. Lila survived, but broke her pelvis and both legs. While she was unconscious, the guy she hired panicked and confessed everything to police. They found their text conversations on her smashed phone. Lila woke up paralyzed from the waist down, finally getting the permanent attention she'd always wanted.